You have these religious people sitting in their homes, and they're saying to you, because they belong to a particular organization, that they are saved. Who are you to determine who is and who isn't saved? Who are you to tell me that you're going someplace that I'm not going? Have you been there before? I have. I know what heaven looks like. I know what the face of God looks like. I know who is in heaven. I know who the watchers are. I know all of the history that I know the true knowledge that has been being used since the beginning of time, and I know the evil ones that conjugated together and killed God and killed His messenger and stole His meat, and now they are using it in order to empower themselves, because on earth, this is what you have the ability to do. This is the free will, and this is the choice that God has given you. God has given you the ability to either be negative or to be positive. You can either be a child of God or you can be a child of Satan. You understand? You can be either or. You can. Our bodies are a combination of both. You know, I went on my Facebook earlier and I posted the Illuminati, which are the Lumen ones, and they're called the Illuminati because they actually possess this knowledge, and they believe that Jesus Christ and Lucifer are the same person. And do you know why? Even though Jesus Christ and Lucifer are twins, because that's what the sun and the moon symbolize. The sun and the moon symbolize night and day, the two different sides. They symbolize the good and the evil. But in reality, neither side is really evil. They just have their own views, you understand? Depending on what side you stand on. But you know what's wrong. You know what's bad. So at the end of the day, you know if what you're doing is really, really evil. You know you're not supposed to be putting your hands on these children. You know you're not supposed to be committing violent acts. But you know what? When you have evil people doing evil things to you, it affects your mentality. It affects the way you think. It affects your thought span. It affects your train of thought. If you put a little kid in a cage his whole life, and you teach him that he is a bad seed, then that's all he's gonna know how to do. He's gonna want to go burn down churches. He's gonna become racist, because you are the ones that are bestowing these morals and these principles and these values in him. Like the gentleman in Maple Gardens, the head of security, they didn't even want to shake my hand. Like, why wouldn't you want to shake another individual's hand that is greeting you with peace? Because you have an ulterior motive. It is because you are actually a devil. You understand? The face of God and the voices of the real Jesus Christ scare you because you have other ulterior motives. And that's why you approach me with a weapon. I don't carry a gun. You understand? I have no fear. You're scared to touch my hand. I touch your heart. And it's sad that, you know, people in general play these roles of the devil. They buy nice clothes, they buy nice jewelry, they go on earth and they lead these women to believe that they're some certain individual. In reality, they're using the knowledge of God and the words of myself in my previous life to empower themselves and to do wrong things. You know, impregnating all of these women and leaving these children fatherless is not the right thing to do. That's not an act of God. And at the end of the day, when you end up in a negative situation, you can't be mad at yourself or blame it on these people on earth, because it's not their fault. It's your fault. You neglected the people. You took their money, you took their trust, and instead of using it to empower them, you empowered yourself. And you need to stop doing that, man. And even as you understand the choices and the decisions, God does not make mistakes. Why do you believe that you are not perfect? Why do you believe that you are not capable of possessing the glory of God in the human form on earth, when all you have to do is positive things in order to feel Him inside of you? You understand? And if you don't feel God inside of you, it's because
you're doing something wrong, and you need to get, instead of pointing the finger at other individuals and telling them who they're not, you need to point it at yourself and tell you who you are. You understand? And even if we would have took the left road, it looks a little bit more rough, but at the end of the day, the things you see are still going to be the same. You understand? You might get cut along the way because of the thorns on the tree. You might lose a loved one. You might catch a disease. You might inherit an illness. But at the end of the day, these are all trials and tribulations that test your faith. Don't be upset with God because you're in a wheelchair. Don't be upset with God because you have a terminal illness, or because someone has done something to you that you don't believe that you deserve. Because in reality, you are not supposed to love the things of this world. They are only temporary. I mean, you can enjoy them, and you can love them, and you can cherish them because they are temporary, but at the end of the day, they're not going to be here forever. And those are the things that we should be fixing our sight on. You understand? I'm not living for the moment, because the moment is the reason why people on earth are not living. You understand? Why would you want to destroy the earth now when you have children here and you have future generations that are going to inherit everything that we leave behind? So in the event of us destroying this earth and polluting the earth and creating all of these things that we really don't need, you're being the devil. You're being selfish. You're being greedy, and you're really not following the laws that my kind have come here and set. You're taking our laws and you're taking our rules and you're using them against us. And what you need to do is stop. You understand? Because if you don't stop, then I am going to come here, not in the physical form, and it's not going to be love that I return with. God is not going to come to this earth with love. He's not going to come to this earth like Santa Claus with a bag full of gifts. He's not going to bring you love, because in reality, the love is already here. And you're taking advantage of it. And when he does come here, it's not going to be a day of light. It's going to be a day of darkness. And you do not want to be here to experience that day of darkness. And this is a final warning. Now, you can take heed to it. You can say I'm crazy. You can say that you don't believe me. But at the end of the day, if you are what you are and you believe that there is only God's will, then what is in me speaking right now to you? What has made me leave my life of comfortability in order to step outside of myself and tell you I am who I'm saying I am, and be jeopardizing my life to be away from my children and my family and those that really love me in order to give a message to you? You understand? Do you know me? Have you seen me before? Like, can you honestly look at me and tell me you love me and be willing to die for me like I'm willing to do and die for you? And this is who Jesus Christ is. You understand? There is no level of comfortability for me. I don't want your money. I don't want your jewelry. I don't want your pussy. And all I want you to do is understand that God gave you 2 arms and 2 legs and a mouth and a heart in order for you to know what's going on and make a difference for yourself. Stop praying to him, because he is bigger in you than he is anywhere in the sky. And when you realize that, you will be able to look up and see him. You understand? Physically, I am a compass. You understand? And the sky and these stars are my travel guide. You understand? I look up in the sky and I see these stars and I hear these lost souls screaming after me, and and just letting me know that enough is enough, man. You understand? And this is why I inherit the things that I inherit. This is why I come here and I do the things that I do. And this is why the earth is still going the way that it's going. Because you're going to realize that God is in you, and you're gonna stop doing the evil things that you're doing, and we're gonna come together and we're gonna unite